Well, hello everyone. I'm Rachel Tessman from stampyourartout.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Andover, Minnesota in the US. And today I am bringing you my Paper Pumpkin exclusives from the January 2026 Special Delivery Paper Pumpkin Kit. It is Wednesday. We're back to Wednesdays. It's Wednesday, January 21st, 2026 as I'm coming to you live. And I'm excited. This is the kit. It came in a special box. These kits are monthly kits. They get delivered directly to your mailbox. $27 plus tax in the US. Shipping's included in the price. So let's take a peek at this box. Let's go down to the desktop. A big welcome to Trisha Josephs. She is here to be my moderator. Yay, Trisha, we love you. She's here to answer questions and to guide you all in the right direction. So please say hello to Trisha Josephs. You can tag her if you'd like to. If you have a question and she's not seeing it, what you do is you type the A or the @ sign, so the A with the circle around it, and then start typing her name, Tricia Josephs, and she'll come up and then you can click on her name and then you'll be able to talk directly to her. Her name will stand out to her more and she'll see it, blah, 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 right? So how are all of you? I got my kit, was it yesterday? Maybe it was yesterday or I've had only like 24 hours with it. So this month I'm going to do a 2-part series. This is part 1. I have so many ideas with this one. I had ideas with the last one too, and I just didn't have the time to do a second video. So forgive me, because that was actually one of my favorite kits ever, was last month's. You got to get in on this if you're not a subscriber. Again, $27 plus tax per month in the US. It comes directly to you. You don't have to commit to getting them every single month. You can even just try 1 month and then stop if you'd like to. There are links in the video description if you want to sign up through Paper Pumpkin through me. If you have a demonstrator already, sign up through them. You can see all the kits. They come with a little flyer like this, or a pamphlet or direction sheet. It basically is a full color flyer that you can open up and follow the directions for, and just go step by step to make the cards as intended, which I should show you, right? Here are the cards. You get to make 3 of 3 different styles. They come with envelopes. Everything's color coordinated. It's so pretty. And the really great thing about kits, this is why I love kits so much. Well, actually, there's a whole bunch of reasons, but I'm going to give you 2 reasons. 1, they focus me in on using that product, right? Sometimes you look at your crafting space, especially those of us that have a lot, and we're overwhelmed because we just have a lot, right? It's like, what are we going to use next? And so kits bring you into focus, but you also get everything in there. So you don't have to say to yourself, oh gosh, I wish I would have had this ribbon, and then wait another week or so to get the ribbon ordered to add that to your project. Like, everything comes in here. So it's amazing. It's so fun. And for people who are beginning crafters or casual crafters, ones that don't want to have a craft room like us, this is perfect too, because it doesn't take up a lot of space. Okay, so this little sheet here, this is for the stamps. So you get a stamp set with the kit. Let me position it this way. You can see all of it lines up real nicely. And then you can use this as a guide for putting your stamps back. You get a little ink spot. We have the color Poppy Parade this time, one of my favorites. If you start to get a lot of kits over time, you're not going to be collecting every single color. Stampin' Up! Is wise. They're not going to give you like a whole array of colors, because what's going to happen is you'll get like a light pink and then it won't show up for your sentiments. Like they have to be smart about it. So they're giving you a color that's dominant in the kit and that will stand out when you stamp your sentiments. So if you start collecting extras, seriously, these are cheap. Just give them to friends or toss them. You get your consumables, you get your adhesives, you get any embellishments. Now this kit didn't come with embellishments this time. Sometimes there's twine, sometimes there's ribbon, sometimes there's like glitz and glimmer, right? But you have your card bases in here. You have your envelopes in here. Look at the cool envelopes, you guys. And then we have all our layers, all our pieces. A little tip, if you're gonna put this card together like that, a lot of people are doing this. It was given as a tip in a demonstrator video too. You put your dimensionals on the back side of all these pieces before you take the backer part off. And then they'll line up perfectly with your card image like that. Okay, so yeah, I'm not going to do the cards as is. That's not me. I like to do alternates. This card base is slightly smaller because there is a piece in here, and I think it's down deeper. Hang on, where did it go? Oh, here it is. This card here actually takes up a whole, let me grab this one. It takes up the whole surface of a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch size card, right? So instead of having all of these pink colors or whatever colors on the side, they wanted us to be able to see the fun edging because it has a postage stamp theme, obviously, right? And so instead, what you're gonna do is you're gonna fold this piece, you're gonna flip this over, and you're going to center it on the back side. And that way, when you see the card from the front, it looks like a big giant postage stamp. That's why this one is smaller. This one gave me challenges, I just want to say, in my alternates. I was having trouble with this. So we're going to start with that one as one of our first cards because I don't know if I really like it. I have to admit, sometimes I don't, like I'm not completely in love with everything I create, but it's passable. Do you ever feel that way about your crafting? Sometimes you just have to go with it. So I have here sectioned off from another kit, because I'm going to put this one away. This is my second one. From my first kit I was playing around with, I have all the parts and pieces for every single card. Yes, you know it. Rachel is going to multiply the cards in the kit. So, and I forgot to put envelopes in the list of extra supplies. Sorry about that, Trisha. I'm going to mention envelopes. In fact, I'm going to grab them now. You're going to want to have envelopes because we're going to cut into the envelopes. So you'll want to grab some extra envelopes. We'll give Trisha a minute to see if she can find a link for that. I'm so sorry, Trisha. But here we have all the pieces. So let's pull them out. Let's take a peek at them all. And they're really nice and easy to pull out. They're like cut in such a way where you don't have to worry about a bunch of little things on the edges. Now, if you want to, you can take like a little nail file or sander and you can get rid of some of those little things, but I don't even notice them. Honest, I do not. I don't notice them. This piece and the green piece, I mean, can you see how those could get cut into a couple different parts here? So we're going to pull those off to the side. This sheet would be great for stenciling if you want to. I'm not going to. We have some layers here. We're going to cut that one. We're going to cut into our envelopes too because look at all the pretty paper. We have all this pretty patterned paper, right? And it's on both sides. Here are our card bases. We have a pink one that's similar to the same pattern as the envelopes. We have kind of that grid going on there. Thank you, Trisha. And then we have like a pink base that is very light pink. The colors in the kit are, they say on the back, it's great. Blueberry bushel, and then we have, and it's kind of like a light version of blueberry bushel, like a very soft tone. Bubble bath, as if it's been stamped off a few times, right? We have bubble bath in there. Darling duckling is the yellow, although I could see, like daffodil delight working with this too. And then garden green, mossy meadow. So we have two different kinds of greens, kind of an earthier one, and then a slightly deeper, cooler tone, like the garden green. And then we have poppy parade for the red and gold. Gold is the color that's accenting it. So this is just a bubble bath base. This one's also bubble bath, but it's darker because you have like that full ink color and then you have stamped off, right? We're going to cut into those. These are all the card bases. And then here are the other layers. We've seen that one already. Here's some, this is like a sentiment layer. You have a couple of sentiment layers here. This is a light pink, one with some pink stitching on it. Excuse me. And then we have flowers. Oops. Let me put those over here. I'll put the sentiment pieces here. Here's another flower. These are supposed to layer onto this piece to make it deeper because it's white on a very, very light background. And so we add an extra layer there and it really pops it off. This is the one that I was saying was giving me trouble. And then we have all those little postage stamps that can be punched out. So let's start cutting. If we're going to cut into the envelopes and the card bases, we also need a card base color. So let's start with that. We have Bubble Bath. Bubble Bath is a really fun, cool pink tone that's very light, great for baby cards, Valentine's, feminine. I don't know. It's just a really like a nail polish color. And then we're going to bring this to the 4 1/4 inch mark. So I've got my 8.5 by 11 cardstock positioned in my trimmer in this direction with the edge the long edge against the 4 1/4 inch mark, and we're going to score. We're going to score through that whole entire piece. We're pressing down in there to give it a little crease in there. And then we're going to rotate it in this direction and put our short edge lined up with the 5 1/2 inch mark. And we're going to use our dark blade and we're going to trim. A trimmer is one of those tools that you must have if you're getting into paper crafting. Please don't forget your trimmer. All right, and then we're just going to fold, and we can use a bone folder or just your hand or finger or whatever, back of a butter knife to give it a good crease. And now we have card bases, and you're going to need 9. So if we're going to triple the cards in the kit, yes, we're going to triple them. We're going to make 9 cards out of this. Instead of doubling, we're tripling. So we're making 9 cards. We need 9 card bases. And then we're going to cut into the envelopes too. And you're going to cut into them the same way. So I'm going to demonstrate one. And I think this is the one I want to demonstrate. Hang on. I'm going to peek really quick. Oh, I guess I'm doing the pink one. Okay, we're doing the pink one. So we're going to rotate. You see how you've got your connecting on the sides here for the envelope? So we're going to turn it in this direction, and we're going to trim. We're just covering up the darkest little edge there on the channel of the trimmer. There's 2 edges on each side of the channel, and we're going to cover it up and slice. And if you have a nice sharp blade, it's going to cut to open that up. Okay, we're going to flip it over and do the same thing, covering up that dark spot, trim, and now we've just cut off just a 1/16 of an inch. It's not a lot. We can open this up and we have a designer paper piece. Okay, like a lot of you who have been watching me for a while, they're like, Rachel, you are definitely cutting the same way every time. Yes, you can open your envelopes a different way. You can get in here and, you know, peel these things open like that if you want to, but I just find that I get more use out of my envelopes now that I'm doing it this way. So I'm going to trim just to one side of that fold mark. When you cut right on the fold mark, you're going to have issues. You're going to get, you know, kind of like frayed paper, especially if you don't have a super sharp blade. And then we're going to rotate it and we're going to cut another 1/16 inch to get that little fold crease area out of there. Okay. For these two, and see, I need a sharp blade again. For these two, for this one, we're going to trim just short an inch. We're going to go 3 1/4 instead of 4 1/4 because this is going to be a layer inside of our card. So we're going to make it an inch shorter in each direction. So now we're getting rid of that. And because we have these little guys on the back side, and again, you're cutting all your envelopes the same way. Hi, Marie. It's snowy in Wisconsin. Yeah, it's snowy here too. It's lightly snowing. I'm going to trim off, let's see here. I want to trim off a little over 1/2 inch on each side. We've got like this dusting. It's almost like, I don't know, powdered sugar coming out of the sky. And now we're going to go in this direction. And because we did an inch shorter in the 4 1/4 direction, we went to 3 1/4. We're going to do an inch shorter in this direction. So instead of 5 1/2, we're going to 4 1/2. So again, it's a layer for the inside of our card. And you can see this just gets out of there automatically. And if you look at a card, let's just fold this to show you. So it's a perfect layer. We have a 1/2 inch all the way around. So that's how we're going to cut the envelope inside piece. And then for the outside piece, you can take, let's just trim this off here and trim it. You can trim it right at the score line because it's not, you know, folded over. Now, if you're going to fold it over first, you might have to trim aside from the score line, but we're going to trim right on the score line. We're going to keep this piece too. And then for this one, you can see that it's just over 4 1/4, and we want it to be slightly smaller. So, oh, yay! Hugs and hello cards just became a member. Thank you for supporting my channel. We're going to cut, so it's 5 3/8. We want to cut an 1/8 off of inch each side. So we're going to go to the 1/8 inch mark, and I'm using this side of my trimmer for it. 1/8 inch, 1/8 inch. And the reason why I'm doing an 1/8 and an 1/8 instead of just a 1/4 altogether is because I want to keep this as centered as possible. Same thing on these edges. So I'm looking at it and it's a little over 5 1/2. So we're going to cut an 1/8 and an 1/8. Okay, 1/8 and 1/8. And that should bring you to 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. Okay, so yeah, I know Rachel works with 8ths. Sometimes I even work with 16ths. I love my math. Okay, here's our front layer. Here's our inside layer of our card. We're gonna set those aside. Now you're gonna do that with all your envelopes. I'm not. I'm just gonna show you one card like that because we got a lot to share today. For this piece, we're gonna cut to 1.5 inches. So I'm using my flat edge right here along the 1.5 inch mark. See why I said the trimmer is gonna be your friend with alternates? Then we're gonna flatten out one edge and we're going to cut 1.5 inch squares. And I'm gonna do that with, oopsie, oopsie, oopsie. Gotta lift it up and then cut, Rachel. Oh, that looks bad. We'll use that as an edge one. Good thing we're not using the whole entire square. Rachel is going too fast. Okay, so we have 3 squares from that one, and I will need the squares from these 2 flaps, so I'm gonna stack them together. I will cut them together. Let's find out where that fold is. And cut, and cut. So sometimes you just have to hold your paper still, especially if you've got 2 of them in your hand. So be careful as you're doing the 2 together if you're gonna do this. Cut off both at the same time on the edge. Flip it around. We'll go to 1.5, 1.5. Lift it up, Rachel. There we go. Good job. And 1.5. Sometimes it sticks. When you get this little part here flapping down, it sticks because there is a locking mechanism on each end. So sometimes instead of pulling in the middle of your trimmer, you got to pull on the top or bottom edge. So we have our squares. That's going to be for a separate card. So let us put these things aside. Okay, for this piece, we're going to cut it at 4 1/4. Right down the middle if you can. And then we're gonna cut off 1/4 inch from each edge because we will be using those long pieces. And you wanna cut off this long edge first, okay? So don't cut your shorter edges off, cut the longer edges off first. We're gonna be using these on a card. And then these pieces will rotate and cut to 5 1/4. So now we have 2 layers that are 4 by 5 1/4. One of them we're going to flip over, and I think that's such a shame, isn't it? That we're going to make that pink one go away. So sad. For this one, we're going to cut it in half. Giving you all the cutting directions first, I guess. Cut it in half. These are becoming inside layers. And then for this piece, we're going to cut it into 4 pieces. Actually, we're going to cut first at 4 inches. Sorry. Then we're going to cut on the other side at 4 inches. You won't need this, although that would be a nice pretty pink piece to use. And then we're going to cut these 2 in half. So I'm stacking them and I'm cutting them in half. I believe you have all the measurements you need now. These are going to be inside layers. I know, it's like, what are we doing with all the pink cardstock? It's so pretty. But we do have a lot of pink for our bases, and you're gonna find out that if you just have pink, 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 you're gonna get, well, maybe some of you love that. You're gonna be on pink overload though. Okay, 2 more cuts. This one we're cutting in half. It is 5 inches, so we're gonna turn it and cut it at the 2.5 inch mark. You're like, what? Yep, we are. And then this one right here. So I think this is the last we'll need with our trimmer. For this one, we're gonna cut it right down the middle, but I'm gonna use those lines there to guide me because it's kind of a wonky shape. It's a weird and wonky shape. So we just wanna line up those gold lines in the channel of our trimmer, make sure they're as straight as possible, and trim. I'm flipping one over. Let's move our trimmer off to the side. Let's grab our other pieces. I believe this is a piece we don't use, but I'm gonna keep it here just in case. I know, Rachel didn't use a piece. That's crazy. And then you're gonna cut it right here to separate one bunch of flowers. Oopsie. There we go. One bunch of flowers from the other. I need to start zooming in, don't I? Because we're almost done with the trimmer. On this one, we're gonna cut these leaves off and this little piece off. So we have that in 3 pieces. Oops, there we go. And our flowers we will keep as is. Okay, let's bring our stack in. Let's get rid of this garbage. Throw that in the recycling can. Okay. Oh, and this, we got to punch this out. Now here's another thought. For this thing that we're punching out from, this would make a great, great, great stencil as well. I love how it all lines up. So if you want to, you can save this and either use it as a stencil, you know, like sponge or spritz or whatever on the inside of it, and you would be more careful as you're punching these things out. Or you can take and even lay it down as a whole entire layer. There are blue edgings around these 2 spots here, but you can flip it over. And when you flip it over, the whole entire thing is a white frame. So you can use this on your card as a layer too. How are we doing? Are we ready? I think we're ready. Let's start putting some cards together. So let's take that wonky one first. Oh, I did use this. You know what I used this for? Because I ended up going, where can I put this little guy? So for this, we're just going to take, and I'm going to use a Stampin' Pierce mat just to make some of this stuff stand out for you. For this, I'm just going to use adhesive, and I'm using my seal adhesive. Your kit, again, does come with adhesive. You get dimensionals. You get this thing here. How do you get these kits? I bet some of you are asking that question if you're new to this. If you have never gotten paper pumpkin kits, this one is unavailable, except today they launched the refill kit. The refill kit comes with everything except the stamps. So you would have to substitute stamp images, but you still have the refill parts. So we're gonna go ahead and just put some adhesive on here. I'm using seal adhesive because it would be quicker than me rolling out some tape from my Tear and Tape. And then I'm going to put a gold layer on top. So it's acting as a little holder, and a white layer on top. And just make sure that they're really, really close to each other. And now we have kind of a half and half look. We also have adhesive not touching the 2 edges here in case we want to do some tucking, which we will. So we're going to grab our stamps now. And my stamps are well loved. If you don't like to get staining on your stamps, because photopolymer stamps do soak in, because there's little tiny, tiny, tiny microscopic porous holes, right? You can, start getting staining. One thing you can do is use Versamark ink. I don't use it because it just is an extra step for me, and I'm a quick stamper. So you can take an ink first in Versamark and stamp a few times, and that'll kind of fill in some of the holes in that porous surface. But and then it'll reduce the staining. It won't eliminate it, but it will reduce it. I forget to mention that because I just don't do it myself. But you can, and it does make for a more lovely stamp. We have the Just For You stamp. I am going to bring in an extra color. I do love Poppy Parade, and your kit comes with Poppy Parade. I'm going to set that over there. I like to substitute with the fuller pads when I demonstrate. And so I do have the Poppy Parade color here, but I'm also thinking this card here is just going to look really great with Garden Green ink. And this is an ink that people have received as subscribers to the kits in months past. So if you have the spot, you can use that. You can use whatever spot you want. You could use black even. But I'm just going to show you how adding in one color of ink, so far we've added in envelopes, right? The Bubble Bath, cardstock, and green ink, Garden Green. We're going to stamp this off to one side, off to the left a bit. And you can see through your stamps, yay! Just For You. I'm going to close this up so I don't get ink on myself. I'm going to try to stay ink-free today. And then we're bringing in this piece here. I'm going to turn it over. You do get your dimensionals with the kit. They're mini dimensionals. I'm just going to grab my bigger sheet because I want to show you that you can also get extra dimensionals. We sell them in this size sheet. And then I've got my multi-purpose liquid glue in my precision tip bottle. You can find the precision tip in the favorite extras section. I think we're getting sunshine on the... I opened up my window because I wanted to see the snow, but I think we might have to close it so we don't have all this shadow. For now, let's just enjoy it. I am going to squeeze out just a bit on the stem just to keep it flat. In fact, you know what? I shouldn't have done that. Not on this one. Oh, Rachel, grab a Kleenex. Not on this one. Don't do this for this one. It won't matter eventually, but don't do it for this one. Because the glue is just going down to the, yeah, don't worry about it. Okay, I'm peeling off the backings on the dimensionals. And I'm going to tuck that right in here like that. Isn't that cute? And this just goes on the front of your card. And I think I use dimensionals for it, which is why I don't want you to put any glue on this, because you know what? If you have glue there, just cover it up with a dimensional. We're going to put a couple dimensionals along this seam just to kind of keep it closed. And then we'll put one on the top and bottom. These are regular dimensionals. They just cover a larger surface. And we actually have like a whole foam sheet. Oh my gosh, I need to close my window, you guys. It's very shadowy. Hang on. There we go. Okay, figure out where the opening is of your card. Lay this down, smack dab in the middle. And if you want to, I didn't, but you could grab some gold accent pieces, maybe the, oh gosh, these guys would be great. The tiny bee trinkets, you could add little tiny bees, zooming in and around. Wouldn't that be cute with a couple bees? I might have to do that later. When I photograph them for the blog post, I will do that. That's one card. Okay, oh, the inside of that. The inside of that one gets a layer from the large pink, where did it go? The large pink card that we cut down into 4 pieces. That layer is gonna go on the inside. You could do light pink, but it's just the same. Yeah, I would do white. Okay, next we're gonna work with this one that looks like a large postage stamp. Okay, the large postage stamp we need on a base, and oh, I do need the trimmer. I'm glad I kept it here. Thanks, Holly. I'm glad you like it. It's not my favorite of all of them. It's like my least favorite, but I think if I add some bees or like just little gold gems, it'll be better. We're gonna cut off 3/8 of an inch. I seriously had the last 24 hours, you guys, to create with this. You should have seen me booking yesterday. 3/8 of an inch on this side too. I'm using this side of my trimmer. So I seriously, you know, like that one, I feel like I could have put another 24 hours into and made it a little bit different, but that's what we have. Okay, we have a shorter base. It's not as short as the one that your kit comes in. Remember, we cut this one down, but it's gonna work fine. We're gonna put adhesive on one side of it, flip this over, center this, and it doesn't matter which way, you know, you can have the opening on either side because your front looks the same. And as you can see, as I'm centering this, that larger size works just fine too. And you still don't see the pink on the scallop parts. Okay, so here's our card base. For the front of that, we're gonna use this flower here. We're gonna use this circle, and we're gonna use this little guy, which we can just flip over and have the white side showing. For this one, I will use the Poppy Parade. Again, we have 2 different kinds of greens in this kit. We have this really deep cooler green, which is the garden green, and then we have this green, and it's a lighter version of Mossy Meadow ink, or Mossy Meadow cardstock. It's just a slightly lighter Mossy Meadow color, so it's earthier. So instead of using the green on all the cards, I went back and forth. So Poppy Parade for this one, and for this card, I'm gonna use the You Brighten My Day. So let's pull that out. And I always flip my stamps over, let them relax, because especially like one like this, you could put that on your block, and then you can have a really wonky, like if you wanted to, you could curve your stamps, right? Let's pick that one up. Now that it's relaxed, ink it up, just tap, tap, tap. And then again, this will, like either direction will work. Just center it and stamp it down. And a little tip, if you're a beginner, if you're watching for the first time, mount your stamps on your block so that they're not straight, because otherwise you're relying on the edges of your block, okay? There we have that done. Let's flip this. Let's put 2 little dimensionals on the back sides of these 2 areas. And this is where we'll use our precision tip glue bottle. We're gonna take and put a little bit of glue here. Oops, and here and here. I think I have it on there. As I get older, my eyes are not as clear with sight. It's frustrating, right? Don't you love aging, you guys? So we're gonna just lay this where I think it will look really nice, and I think this works. I'm comparing to my other one, which is why I keep peeking over there. But that should work just fine. This one is gonna go flat against the base, and I could flip it over so it's just the white side, but I kind of like that little accent here, the line of the pink on the top and the bottom. Hey, thanks for the reminder there, Trisha. Trisha just said, hey, don't forget to give the thumbs up. If you're watching and you're enjoying this video, I would really appreciate the thumbs up. And I forget to share these kinds of things. Here's my blog. If you want to follow me on my website, stampyourartout.com. Here is my, what is this? Oh, that's my YouTube. You're here. Facebook, you can follow me on Facebook. You can even join my Facebook group. And when you join my Facebook group, you can then like recreate some of these things that I'm sharing with you, right? Or you can create things on your own. Where did my dimensionals go? Here they are. And you can share them in the group for all of us to see. We love to see lots of creative inspiration. And this is a place for you to post your creations. I don't see them all, but if you tag me, I will. It gets busy on Facebook. So sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm seeing this a year later. So tag me if you want me to see something that you're sharing. I have helpers that help me approve posts. So there is that card. And again, you could put some little embellishments on. You know what? I think I'm going to do that, you guys, before I take pictures of these and post them on my blog, because my blog link is not in the video description yet as we're live, but I will make it go there soon as I'm done with everything. And yeah, I'll do that. Okay, let's pull out another thing. And I think I'm gonna just embellish these cards a little bit more. So you'll see the plain versions in the video and then a little glitzy glimmer. So really all I did for making 3 sets of cards from the kit is add the bubble bath cardstock, the extra envelopes, and the garden green ink. If you want gold embellishments, you can do that too, but it makes it very affordable to make more from your kit. You can also, if you like the cards as is, you can make the kits cards and then buy all the refill kits, right? So you can do that. But I like to show how you can be efficient and make changes to your cards if you want to do that. These cards are a little bit simpler because we're using less product on each card, but it works. It's fun. Okay, we're going to do this one. So there are 2 that look similar. This one here has a little bit more full floral to it. We're also going to use one of these strips, okay? And I'm going to put adhesive on the pink side of the strip. I'm also going to put adhesive, and I'm doing it with this because my tape runner probably is too wide for this. So we got glue on the pink side. We have some seal adhesive on the back side of this. We're going to take these 2 pieces, find the opening, front of our card, and oops, I don't want to lay that down yet. Hang on. I just want to get a better handle on this. So as I lay these down, and you could do this with, you know what, let's just do this. I'll show you what I originally did. I'm going too fast. You can do it with one that doesn't have adhesive on it yet. Do it with one that doesn't have adhesive on it yet. The white one on the left there, my little strip, it is all adhesive free. So you can line it up like this, stick that down, and then you can put adhesive on here and put it on the card. That way you're not trying to get too messy. You don't have to control too much at once. Rachel was going fast. I'm so sorry. So you see how that kind of makes it look like it's coming from, you know, it's peeking behind another layer. And so even though it's not a full postage stamp type image, you still have that look with, you know, an excuse for why it got cut, because it's peeking behind another layer. And then the stamp for this would be from another stamp set. You can use the stamps that come in the kit. So I'm not saying that you have to go and buy more stamps. You could use You Brighten My Day here. You could use Just For You. You could use whatever. But I'm going to show you a stamp set that's only $5. $5, you guys. Fabulous Sayings, okay? Fabulous Sayings is our product of the month for the month of January. You get all of these sentiments in here. and they're all occasion. I love the fonts. I love that there's two different kinds of fonts. I love that you can combine some of the imagery together to make a fuller font. We're gonna pull these out. How do you get this set? You get it by purchasing $75 worth of product. And you're gonna wanna do that in this month anyways, because every $50 order earns you a bonus day coupon that you can spend next month, redeem next month, okay? We're gonna pull out the stamp that says "To a Fabulous Friend." So I guess I did use one other product in here. And for this one, because it's super long, I'm gonna pull out my, I think this is H. Yep, H. The H block. We're gonna ink that up with the Poppy Parade. Thanks. I'm glad you like this. I really like the way this layout came. I was even debating with the whole, like, to make it go on there kind of angled and stuff. You could do that too if you wanted to. This whole look would totally work angled. So I'm stamping "To a Fabulous Friend" down there. In fact, I think on my original, I had this up higher. I did. I shifted it up higher knowing that I was going to put "To a Fabulous Friend" underneath. So yeah, ignore that. But on this one, you can center it. You see how you have the hooray up there? So because this is centered and you have a spot here to put a smaller stamp, you can put this in the center. So sorry about that. I should have shifted this one up a little higher. It would have looked better. Oh, I know what I can do. Let's fix it. There's another little image in here that's pretty fun. Hearts. We can fill in the top. There, now we have a slight balance to it, right? Little hearts going across the top. Okay, so do you see the difference here? I have, this one has a little bit of shadowing on it. These two do. So what I did is I took my matching flower, because all of these have matching flowers. There's actually 3 flowers, but one of them here, I think it's on this one, isn't as dominant. So I just saved this one for another card, and I only used the big ones. So on these 2 cards here, I used the matching flowers and stuck that down with a dimensional on top of the fuller flower. So that is the finished look. And I forgot to show you the inside of that last card. So hang on. The last one had a pink layer too, okay? Just like this first one. The insides of these are the last 2 of the pink layers. Got it? So now that whole pink card base that we cut up from the kit into 4 pieces has been used up for the inside layers on those 4 cards. For the next card, we'll be using one of these halves for the inside, and we'll be using this pink layer. Let's grab another pink base. We're going to add postage stamps. And because I got a little artsy with this one, we have the flower, and the flowers. We did some stamping. So I'm going to get my grid paper down here now, and we're going to stamp on these with some imagery from the stamp set from the kit. We're going to be using some little postage, like it shows that it already went through the system. They are canceled, right? Is that what it's called? So we have those 2 images, and we'll mount those onto our blocks. We'll grab our red ink. That's another reason why the Poppy Parade is perfect for this kit, because I think that's the ink color. That and like there's a bluish color that I've seen canceling with too. Okay, so we're gonna stamp the love at the top left of these flowers. We're gonna stamp this little guy going across the bottom of that stamp. And I think that's it. Okay, so those are the ones that I used. And then I'm going to keep that ink out because we have some words. So for this one, again, I'm going to pull in some images from the Fabulous Saying stamp set. I'm using Sending Love. So I'm going to pull that out. It's not going to fit completely onto this little area here, but we're going to do what's called masking. So I'm going to mount that onto a block. And I think I need to clean off my stamps. Excuse me. I need some water. I'm using my spritzer here and my cleanup pad. We're gonna clean off that stamp because I need a block. I think this will fit on here. Let me check. And it will. Okay, there's our block. Might as well clean that one off too because I might need another big one. Let me grab my liquid. Okay, next we are going to ink up just the sending. If it frightens you to ink it up without having some kind of protection, you can grab like masking tape or a Post-it note or something just to cover up where you don't want to be inking. And then you can just ink and not worry about it. But you can also, because they're kind of spread apart pretty wide, you can also ink them out without too much worry. So you can see I barely got any red on there and I wasn't even focused. Okay, we're gonna stamp that down here. Sending. And because we don't wanna have the same word on the inside, I'm gonna clean this off. And this is where you have to really make sure you're good and clean. So we're gonna stamp that on our paper a few times. And you can see my cleanup pad needs cleaning because there's still a little bit of, oh, that looks good. Okay. Next, on the inside of the card base, actually on the layer, it's gonna go in there, we're gonna ink up the word love. And again, you could tape off what you don't want, or you can trust your inking, and then you stamp the word love. So there's that. For all the stamping, we got all the stamping done for that card. Another little trick that I did for this card, because I did not want my postage stamps to be up on dimensionals, but I wanted them to look lifted, is I did this little trick. I just went around on the edges and I just kind of like turned my bone folder. I've got my bone folder and my thumb kind of connected together here. And I just did this little, it's not really curling either. I'm not really curling it. I'm kind of bending it in that spot just to get the edges bent up a bit to stand out. In fact, here on this one, you can really see the bend mark on that, can't you? Okay, and then on this one. So I didn't want them up on dimensionals, but I wanted them to still look lifted. And that's what I did on all the edges. And then on this piece, I added dimensionals. So we will do that. 1, 2, 3, because it's a pretty big piece. I'm just gonna go ahead and add 3 onto that. And then this one just gets taped to the inside. For this layer, I put a dimensional on each corner. I didn't worry about the middle parts because sometimes when you add dimensionals to the edges and then you add dimensionals to a layer, you don't want them to be like on top of each other because it's gonna make the card thicker to mail, right? But this is gonna go in the middle here, so they don't oppose each other. And the finished card looks like this. Oh, and I trimmed. Okay, so I lined these up so that they were spaced apart really well, and then I trimmed before I added this pink layer on top. I just trimmed the edges. So it's a line of postage stamps. It almost looks like this card. In fact, this is the first one I created as an alternate, thinking this just looked busy to me, like there were just too many stamps on there. But I liked the little look of having stamps, and so I did just a line of them, and then the word sending. On the inside we have love, sending love. Okay, next card. This one here is where we're going to, oh my gosh, don't do it, but I will, flip this over, and we're using the white side only. I keep getting these card ideas from Joanne Pollock. I've seen her do this a few times now, and I really love it. So we're gonna do, oops, I got ink on my fingers. I knew Rachel would do that. Hang on. It's non-toxic, you can lick it. Then wipe it on your jeans. All right, I love this idea, and I just wanted to go with it. So we're gonna put adhesive on the back side of a square. You want to have square pieces. 1.5 by 1.5 is what she used, and so I just thought I'd go with the same size. We're going to put that corner to corner lining up with this long edge. This here, you won't need. So then you grab like your scissors, your snips, whatever you got, and you trim off the excess. Okay? Next, and you don't have to trim it all off until the end. Next, we want our good square. Here's our pink good square. And there are lines on here, but you don't notice them too much because it's really pale paper. But if you do feel like you need to line things up, you certainly can try to line up the grids that are going on the design. This is super light on the pink one. You can barely see it. And then for the green, same thing. And you can see we're just putting edge to edge, making this connected trail. Here's another blue one. So pink, blue, green, going down. We need another pink. And this is where we could use, you know, any of them that have this. Oh, I'm going to save that one. Hang on. We're going to fill that in a minute. So pink, blue, green. I'm sorry, blue, pink, green, blue, pink, green. So next to this one here, I think would be a green. Yeah, we'll do a green there. You could do blue or green there. It doesn't matter. I'm going to do green. And there, I like that lining up a little bit better. We'll line that up. And you can see the points are still going edge to along that edge. Okay. And then on this one, it would be blue. So we need a blue one under there. Some of these, you only need a couple squares. And there's another color that you need like way more of. So let's see. That probably looks decent. It's going to get covered up. You won't notice it that much. And then for our pink one down here, we'll just make sure that that corner is kind of like hidden. There we go. And you'll need a little bit more pink. So as we trim off this excess, save another good corner. Make sure there's adhesive in it. And that one could go here. And then you have another pink one, which can go here. Okay, so you're basically just patching them all together, flipping it over when you're done, using that edge of your card base piece here, this card layer piece, as a guide. Put your blade of your scissors up against it. And it's super easy, isn't it? So there's our fun little quilty pattern going on there. It works really well with subtle background papers that don't have lots of lines on them. So this isn't like the perfect paper for it, but I just wanted to teach you this fun design because it's really cool. Now, you can have your card go this way, which is what she had on her Christmas card that she sent me. See that? Now, this is like the perfect paper for it. Isn't that cool? Or you can turn it in another direction, which is what we're going to do. And we're going to add that to the front of our card with some adhesive. And Rachel's trying to go fast because she's looking at the time. She's like, oh my gosh. So now we have this pink edging around here that really makes it stand out. And because there's that pink edging, let's just throw this flower on there too. In fact, let's give that flower a fun little greenery piece behind it. So we're going to take and tape these two together, and we're going to do that with dimensionals. So we're just going to stick a dimensional here and here, trim off the excess because we don't want that funny little part sticking out. Now we have greenery on our flowers. We'll put a couple more on there. And then before we stick this down, we're going to kind of position it where it looks best. And I kind of like it in the middle. I think it looks great in the middle. For this one, we have like this nice area here to put our sentiment. You could put anything really that fits there, but I'm going to use the thank you from that new stamp set, the Fabulous Sayings Product of the Month stamp set. We're going to use the garden green. Grab a block. I'm using B, C, D blocks, and then I used the H also. Okay. If you're using just paper pumpkin stamps, you don't have to use anything beyond D. So B, C, and D cover it all because in your first kit, you actually get, and this one's kind of not clean, but you get a block that looks like this, okay? And it's the D size block. So then you just take off your dimensional backings, you stick it down, and you have this card. And this one also has that other half of that card base in there like this one did. Okay. All right. Next. This is the last one that I will demonstrate, and then I'll show you all 9 finished cards. But this is the one where we have the envelope layers that we cut earlier, and you do the same cuts to all your envelopes. We need a base. We're going to take and add this base to our card front, like so. You got a 1/16 of an inch all the way around on the borders. This piece can go on the inside, and we are going to show off that really fun pattern, because if we have it on the front, why not have it on the inside, right? It's light enough too. I mean, Bubble Bath is light enough where you can write on the inside. I'm glad you like that, you guys. The quilt card is fun. And there's so many different kind of quilt designs too, isn't there? But that one just intrigued me, and I had to try it with this kit. The squares are 1.5 by 1.5, darling. Okay. All right. Okay, next. Then I'm going to grab this blue. See that one? We left that one aside. We don't want to leave it aside because these are the cool little layers that finish off a card so nicely. So we'll peel the backings off, and we're going to add just a little bit of glue to the stem area here, like that. Just a touch is all you need. And then we'll set that down as if it's coming out the base of the card here. And you could first put your sentiment on there. I mean, if that helps, because then you can really know where your flowers are going to go. But I know exactly which sentiment I'm going to use. I'm going to use this one, and we need to clean it off because I used it in green, and I want to use it now in the red. So we will spritz, clean, dry. I need a new cleanup. Not a new cleanup pad, but I just need to clean off my little layers. They need to go in the dishwater. All right, inking up our thank you, stamp that in here. And we have this beautiful little thank you card. Isn't that pretty? All right, yes, so let me bring those 9 in, but I've got another sample to share with you, and we're just gonna throw it in there. Okay, we're gonna do it. We're gonna make it work. Our video might go a little over an hour here. But I have one more thing to demonstrate for you. So these are the cards I did. And yes, I do need to add some little gold bees on them. I think the gold bees would look great. Here is another card that I did with the gold bees. And this one is not going to be demonstrated today, but next week I have planned for my live to teach you this fun fold. It's a triple Z fold, and you may have done it in the past. You may have seen videos out there. The one that I found was for A4 size cardstock, so it's not, it had to be changed a little bit, but that is the triple Z fold using envelope layers from the kit. And you have to just cut really carefully, but you can get all the pieces from it. And next week I'll show this card fun fold technique for making that card using different products, but you can apply those ideas to the Paper Pumpkin kit. The last idea that I want to share with you, you can do with thinner kinds of cardstock. So like our two-toned cardstock comes in like a thinner type of feel than our regular cardstock. And we have that in every color. But we also have this really cool paper that some of us may have even forgotten about because it has kind of a Christmassy feel to it. And this green here is not the green that coordinates with this kit. This red is slightly different too. It is cherry cobbler, but I think it would look nicely with some of the elements from the kit. And then you have this white. So you have white, cherry cobbler, and pretty peacock. But I could see you using these to make some cute little Valentine treats because 12 by 12 paper is going to be perfect for this. That's what the two-tone cardstock comes in. That's what a lot of our designer papers come in. We're going to use this red and check out what it would look like because I haven't made it with that one yet. I've done it with the white and gold, but not with the cherry cobbler. We're going to cut a 4 by 4 square. From one sheet, you can get nine of these. So you can see you get 3 strips cut into 3 pieces each. 3 times 3 is 9. So we have a 4 by 4 square. You can do the same thing again with two-tone cardstock. And then I would probably do the lighter side on the inside. I'll show you that finished sample in a minute. So for this, what you're going to do is you're going to grab your candy, and you can do some scoring. You can do some, elaborate scoring with the scoring tool, the Simply Scored tool, or whatever, but I find that this is easiest, especially if you are working with a bunch of kiddos because you're making Valentine treats for school and you wanted to use this kit for Valentine treats, but it came in these adult looking Valentine cards, right? And yeah, anyways. So from this kit, we get, and let me find those little images again. They are a bunch of little stamps, right? Find those stamps, Rachel. Find them, find them, find them. Here they are. From this sheet, you could literally use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. This one's a little tall. This one's a little tall. This one works. I do have, in fact, we'll use that one today, okay? We'll pull that one out and use it. Okay, so 5 times 3 is 15. You can make 15 Valentines in this way. Okay, you have white on the other side. Yay for that. So then you can take any of your images that come from this set. I obviously didn't clean it off before I set it down there. You could put sending love. You could have happy Valentine's, just for you. You brighten my day. Love, love, love. We'll use the, where did my stamps go? Here they are. We're gonna use the one that says happy Valentine's. I think, yeah, let's just do that. So we've mounted it. We've got our Poppy Parade ink, which just looks like red when you're stamping with it anyways. And with our grid paper, which kind of helps, you can angle it so that you have it looking like a diamond shape, right? And you can stamp this near the top, but not all the way to the top. And it looks pretty darn centered that way, right? Because you've got it on your grid paper. You're gonna put a dimensional up there to close it, so don't go all the way to the top with your designs, but go up far enough where they're gonna be able to see it when they open it. Then you lay your chocolate in there. And you probably wanna get a different flavor because I don't know if kids really like intense dark chocolate. You're gonna fold up from the bottom so that you have this kind of like a, I don't know, like you're folding a diaper. So you're folding up from the bottom, then you're gonna flatten down the two sides, flatten the two sides. Then you're gonna fold in from the sides, like that, and like that. And all you have to do is then connect with adhesive. It's a really simple, cute way to fold up little squares, flat squares of chocolate. Let me get my adhesive out. Remember, you get the tear and tape with your, boy, my hair looks great. You get the tear and tape with your kit. So for the tear and tape, and again, I'm just grabbing it from my personal stash, we're gonna need about 1 inch each, and we're gonna put that right, oops, I think I put it on this instead. You're gonna put it about, you're gonna put it on the sides where you're leaving this part free, because when you fold over, that gets kind of exposed, right? So then we peel off the backing. How many of you are teachers, or you have a Sunday school group, or you work in a daycare center, or you have grandkids or whatever? This would be the perfect cute little Valentine. Or these are great for coworkers too. Okay, so now you have a little pocket and they can pull this in and out. And then for the top, you can grab your little mini dimensionals in the kit, or I'm just gonna grab this one because I have it handy. And you can flatten down this spot here. When you flatten it, it's easier to fold over. And then you go like this, and you fold it, and now you have your little envelope, your hand-folded envelope. For this piece, you can put your hand-canceled images on there. You could put the love, the little hearts going across it if you want to. I'm not going to, because we're just gonna go fast. And we're gonna put some adhesive in the top as kind of like a little triangle piece. So just in that little zone, stick it down, and there you have your Valentine. And these can be handed out to whoever because you haven't personalized them. Now you could, you know, put like a little white layer on the back if you wanna give one to a special person, another one to another special person, whatever. Okay, so I have those done. And they're sealed with dimensionals, so I can't necessarily show you what's on the inside, but I did do like hand canceling kind of, or not hand cancel, you know, the cancel image on those two. But you can see how you can get quite a variety. Yeah, so fun, fun, fun. Just a lot. And I have so much more that I want to show you. I don't even want to tell you what I'm working with because I tried it last night and it didn't work. So. But there's a little bit of humor, hopefully, that I can bring to all of you when I share my second set of alternates. I also have a group called the Paper Pumpkin Creatives that I'm in, and we do We do exclusive alternate projects for our subscribers. So if you become a subscriber through me or through one of them, you get the exclusives for free. If you're on our team, you get them for free. You can also buy them. So I'm now going to go over to the computer because I want to show you something. In fact, I'm going to show you a few things. All right. We are going into, do I have it? Okay, I have it ready. Here we go. So on my blog, stampyourartout.com, when you're in here, there's like little shop tabs, shop online, my blog, joining community, that kind of thing. That's becoming a demonstrator. Under the paper pumpkin tab, you can sign up through me. You can also sign up in the description of the video. You can learn more about paper pumpkin. You can see recent paper pumpkin posts, things that I've created with paper pumpkin kits. I do try to organize them in a timely manner. Sometimes it takes me months, but you can see I've also organized them all on this page so that you can go to any past kit and you can see my ideas that I've shared with them. You can go to my Pinterest boards and you can see what I've been pinning with paper pumpkin kits. You can go to the stamp set case inserts and you can print them off. Now, as a subscriber, you do get these emailed to you, but sometimes people forget them. This is free. You just go here, you print it off, and you're set to go. I do need to add January 2026. And that's when I used to paint my fingernails. Okay, let's go back one more. Here, join my Paper Pumpkin fan club on Facebook. Obviously, I have to log in, but you can go to the Facebook group called Paper Pumpkin Fan Club. It's a group I started years and years ago, and it's huge. There's 38.7 thousand members in here. We're sharing in there all the time. So great resources for getting lots of fun ideas. Okay, I just wanted to share that with you. I also want to share with you this imagery because I'm talking about joining. Okay, if you're thinking of becoming a demonstrator, you may want to hold off for just a couple weeks or a week or so, right? A week? How far are we away? January 3rd. I'm sorry, February 3rd. Okay, next month is February. February 3rd is when a new starter kit little deal is happening. The starter kit is always the best deal, just so you know. So don't ever regret getting the starter kit in any month because you're going to save a lot by getting the kit. $125 with product for only $99, free shipping. Business supplies are free, so you're not paying for them if you don't want to do business, blah, blah, blah. Okay, for February 3rd through March 2nd, we have a new tool. Can you see that? It's a new tool. We have missed having a positioner, and I'm so glad I haven't invested in another one yet. I just was hesitant because I wanted to promote Stampin' Up stuff because I really love Stampin' Up stuff, and we have a new positioner coming. I'm so excited. So I 2-day shipped it. I'm going to get it on Friday. I get to play around with it with my Silver Elite Retreat group this weekend. This is an image of it. You can see it here on this sheet. This image, you can see kind of step-by-step how you do it. It's a spring-loaded one, so there's no hinge. And it's going to be really fun and easy, I think, to see on top as you're going down, rather than trying to estimate if you're getting in the right spot as you're kind of hinging it, and you know what I mean. I think this is going to be better than any positioner I've ever had, and I'm super excited about it. For those of you that are already demonstrators, you have 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks? I think they gave us 2 weeks. So that must be when February 3rd starts. Yeah, 2 weeks. We can pre-order one of these, okay? So you can get it in your hands now if you're already a demonstrator. If you're not a demonstrator, you can't get it yet. If you want to get it, you can either become a demonstrator now and pre-order it, or you can wait until the join offer and get it for free, which is kind of a good idea. And Vicky asks, will it be available later? Yes, yay! So I don't know exactly when that timeline will begin for everybody and anybody to order it, but I'm guessing there'll be a little bit of a lapse. So you'll want to kind of weigh out where you're at and what you want to do, okay? I'm excited. I'll be demonstrating it as soon as I get my hands on it. On that note, my next video will be next week on Wednesday because I am hosting the Silver Elite Retreat group at my house. These are team members that have reached the Silver Elite level or higher, and that's this weekend. So we're going to have a fun time. I'm creating projects for that too. Behind me is a very messy countertop. In front of me, like there's piles all over my room. It's gonna be fun. Okay, yay, people are like shouting out, they're excited. This is great. I miss not having a position or two, and I was just hesitant about buying any other brand. I don't know, I was hoping Stampin' Up was gonna get one, and they did, yay. So that's what's going on with that. I told you my next live is on Wednesday. Don't forget to give the thumbs up, like, subscribe if you want to, because subscribing is free, but if you want to help support my channel monetarily, you can become a member. 99 cents per month or $5.99 per month gets you an exclusive video at least. And again, life just has to get into that lull, that mode. I'm hoping to do more. Sometimes I've gifted cards. I gave away my extra hand stamped little Halloween creations to some people who are watching one of my lives. So I've done a few little extras. I do some extra lives here and there. I've posted a bunch of old time videos in the members only section. So there's a bunch of content in there if you want to become a member. You can see all that, but you get a live, at least a live each month. Okay, I talked about it all, I think. Refill kit, I told you that's available now. Yeah, I think I shared it all. Product of the month. There's just so, oh, one more thing that I want to share because we're almost at the end of the month and I don't want you to miss out. If you're somebody who likes to get our all-star tutorial bundles and you want to save, purchase all, let's say you're a demonstrator. This is perfect for demonstrators. If you buy from me, then you can earn them for free. So don't purchase them. Or if you buy from someone else. So if you buy from someone else or you're another demonstrator, you can purchase the all-star video tutorial as a subscription. We're just starting out. So let me go to, hang on, I'm gonna go there. Shop, tutorials, and tutorial subscription. Here we go. Okay, so we are in the midst of this month, and this month only, you can sign up for 6 months and save on one of the months. So you purchase all 6 for the value of 5. You can do that now through the end of this month, and then the subscription period is over. We only do the subscription period twice a year. So you get 6 months in each one. And these are the designers that are in that group. You get a lot of great creations. We focus on a bundle a suite each month. So if we shop and you look at past tutorials, you can see all of these, and I'm just gonna single them out. All of these are all-star tutorial video class bundles, okay? Gosh, they all, like Hobby Haven, Lovely and Beautiful, Lights of Aurora, Gathering Together, Painterly Pairs, Floral Impressions. So we pick suites out, and this would be the month to save if you wanna do that. So, all right, enough of that selling, Rachel. I just don't want anybody to miss out if they want in on it. Okay, take care, everybody. I'm gonna let you all go. Trisha, thank you if you hung in there longer. She only has like an hour break when she does this for me, so bless her heart. We love you, Trisha. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. I hope you had a great time, and now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye, everyone.